Hi, I'm Tom. It is September 5th, 2025, and I am 49 years and 81 days old. At 11 a.m. today, I went to Radiohead.com and submitted my interest in purchasing a ticket for their upcoming tour. Now, this is significant, I guess, in a few ways, but probably the way it's most significant is I didn't know if Radiohead was going to tour again. The last time I saw Radiohead live was for Hail to the Thief. And I think that was 2004, I want to say. So I haven't seen Radiohead play live in 21 years, which is interesting because A, they've toured since then, quite a few times, and B, they are definitely my favorite band. They're my favorite band and possibly my favorite musical act of all time, which puts me firmly in a category of dude emerging uh, during the 90s, like an unavoidable type of dude, some kind of high fidelity type of dude. And for a little while, um, I I tried to make Radiohead, if not my entire personality, then a significant enough portion of it, to be very annoying to myself when I think about that version of me from then. We're told to be gentle with our past selves, to be loving of that child that would eventually grow up to become the adults that we are. And I am. I am I am loving of that complete island of misfit toys person. Um, but I'm glad that I'm not Radiohead is my entire personality guy anymore. I think there are obvious drawbacks to basing your entire personality around something you like, and in particular, a kind of angular, somewhat depressive um, musical act. I love Radiohead. Radiohead makes me happy. Radiohead songs make me happy. Radiohead songs make me want to dance. They make me want to sing along. They provide a kind of musical affinity that I didn't know was missing from my life until not not exactly the moment they came along, because I think I tried to avoid Radiohead as well. I sort of found them kind of annoying. Definitely, Pablo Honey, which I don't believe I even own, um, was easy for me to miss. And it wasn't until the Bends that I started to think, oh, maybe this is something. And then, as with many people, when OK Computer came out, I was like, yes, absolutely. This is my band. This is my ride or die band. This is my Desert Island Disc band, etc., etc. But again, I'm very happy that I no longer mostly identify as a Radiohead fan. And I'm happy that there are now so many other musical acts that I enjoy, uh, even as much as I enjoy Radiohead. But I guess, as it is with many first loves, they continue to occupy a very important part of me and the way I think about things. And so I really hope that I get tickets to this tour, which is coming up very shortly. And I'm also really glad that I still live in Europe, because as of right now, they've only announced 5 dates, and all of them are in the European continent. So the last thing I'll say about this is, when writing about Radiohead, people have started to point out that every generation, however you want to define that, has its own best Radiohead album. Maybe not the current one. That probably ended with In Rainbows, but you have people still who think that they should never have changed their style from the Bends, that the Bends was their best album and they should have just kept making, I guess, Britpop. And then there are some OK Computer diehards, there are Kid A acolytes, and then a lot of In Rainbows people. I didn't care for In Rainbows as much when I heard it, and I guess that you know identifies me as one of the other groups. I am very much a Kid A is their best album kind of fan, but I now adore In Rainbows, and I can probably listen to the From the Basement recording on repeat for an entire day. But I think Kid A, because of when it came out, because of how much it differed from even OK Computer, felt really crazy to me. And I also remember not really liking it at first. The first time I heard Kid A, I was in a car. I had driven to a record store and lined up at midnight to buy a copy, and then offered to drive the people that I'd met in line home because they had all just taken the bus there. I don't know why I said bus like that. That's weird. And so we all piled into my car, into my parents' car, and listened to the entire album before we drove away. And I remember most of us, if not all of us, thinking, well, that was pretty weird. And I remember really thinking, where's the single? Like, what's the main song from this album? To this day, I think it still doesn't have a main song, and that is probably why I like it so much. Like, there isn't a single identifying song or central song to the whole album. Now I'm just talking about Radiohead, which is fine, because I think they've been soundtracking the key moments of my life for the past 30 years. Hopefully one of these videos will be the day that I'm going to go see Radiohead in concert. And if not, it'll be about how sad I am that I'm not going to go see them in concert.